Hello, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about "And Then There Were None" by Agatha Christie, the acclaimed detective mystery whodunit author, pioneer of the whodunit genre, perhaps. Um, Still no webcam, no microphone. I haven't really looked for them though. But by next video, I'll plan to have the mic and the webcam back. All right, apologies for that one, guys. I had to close my closet real quick. You see how the light just got brighter? That's some wizard shit I just did. But I had to close the closet because I was revealing hidden lore about myself that shouldn't be accessible until the purchased DLC. So in other words, I accidentally revealed what I was actually doing during my hiatus. So maybe I should just cut this part out. And then there were none by Agatha Christie. This book falls under, I'd say, one of two umbrellas, one of two paths, I think, or maybe just one or two sections or routes I think books take, or, just categories of books. I don't know why I just spit three. What I was trying to say here is I think with reading, you get two types of books, right? So you have books that are, as some people on the literary YouTube sphere would like to say, are transformative. You read these books and they change you in profound ways. That's how gifted the author is at uh creating something that can impact you in such a heavy way. So uh, just some examples like Captain Underpants or the Twilight series. I mean, these are books that you read them, and sometimes your perspective on life is shift. These y- big, great things happen within yourself, I guess you could say, and that's achieved through the author being able to tell a heartfelt and very introspective story, while also maybe telling it in a way that is, pioneered a certain uh, writing style in the art, or experimented with something that was transformative, I guess if you want to say, for the whole genre itself of the novel or the short stories, literary works. And then okay, so this book's not that. Then you have the books where it's like you're reading this and you're just kind of trying to do it for the entertainment, right? So I think a good comparison here would be if we looked at like the movie scene. You watch a movie like Interstellar, maybe, or one of these other pretentious movies, and you're like, wow, like I think this has influenced me heavily and spiritually in a way that I think it may affect how I proceed with my life. Okay. Then you might watch a movie like Um, any Adam Sandler movie. Okay, this didn't really change me profoundly or reach to any deep part of myself, but I had a good time and I was entertained and I enjoyed it. So, and that's also a perfectly valid form of media, right? Or art. It's just entertainment. To be entertained. It really matters what you're coming to reading with, what you're looking for, because not everybody's coming to reading looking to, put on a pair of glasses and be a square and say big words online and Reddit chats, about how like Moby Dick is good. Some people come to reading because they're just looking for an entertaining story to uh pass their time, whether they're about to go to sleep or just for general entertainment, the same reason you'd watch like a silly comedy rom-com movie. That's what I believe And Then There Were None was for me. So not necessarily transformative or changing me, or I think it's not really like having a big epiphany about humanity or society, right? But it doesn't have to still, I think it's still a great book. The basic premise is, like I mentioned in the intro, it's a whodunit. These 10 people are all sort of invited to show up on this island, and they get the idea that the person who sent them here is either not here or he's one of them, and then people start dying, and so they have to sort of work as a team to figure out, who is the killer, who's killing everybody on this, secluded island off the coast of the UK somewhere, probably. I think everyone in this book is British, but excuse me, but I really did enjoy this book. The writing style is it's very very simplistic, very minimalist. Uh, Lots of dialogue. I mean, this is probably one of the first books that I've read personally where there's probably more dialogue than prose. A lot of dialogue, very fast paced and quick. People just start dropping like flies. Again, you get the style here, and I don't see any use of allegory or like maybe in Beloved by Toni Morrison, or a minimalism truly on at its top form like a Cormac McCarthy or a Hemingway. But again, I it works well for what we're trying to achieve here. It's not we're really here for the story, right? The entertainment factor, and I think this simpler, more like rudimentary style of writing works well with that. Not to say that Agatha Christie doesn't throw in a big word every now and then. That you always enjoy a big word that I have to such up on on Google Safari. Um, I don't know what happened there. Again, the story, it gets you invested. You're really sitting here, trying to do your own armchair detective work and try and figure out who the killer is. And, when you come to the ending, of course, so this is odd because I didn't read the final epilogue, and so I thought that it was just kind of left uh, open-ended, I guess, as to who the killer was, right? You're just kind of like, oh, well, you know, spoiler, there was none left. They all died. Who was the killer? Who did it? Then there's after the epilogue, there is a letter from one of the characters explaining sort of his reasonings and how he came to be the killer, how and why he did it. Um, and I honestly thought both endings worked well here. I liked the open-endedness because it was sort of like a okay, who did it? I wasn't the biggest fan of that alternative though because it sort of almost gives the writer too much of a crutch to just put in a lot of crazy wacky twists. Then it's like you don't have to you don't have to execute on that because it's like, oh well, it's open and you don't know who it was. It could have been you know you don't have to have a justification for the crazy stuff that happened because you don't know who the killer is. So I think it was even more of a testament to Agatha Christie's writing that once I read the letter after the prologue, like, wow, she did actually, this is why she's a master of her craft, right? Because she actually did have it planned, and then through this character, we sort of walked through, how he came to how they. Fuck, I think I just spoiled it. No, sorry, but yeah. So he explains how he sort of got this mindset of why he did these sort of crazy kills, and how he did it. And that was an ending I appreciated. I really did enjoy this book. I think this is a good book to pull out, like if you have a flight somewhere on a plane, or you pull this book out and you read it on the flight, and you're done by the time you land. It's one of those reads. I think there's also an art and a mastery to what Agatha Christie does with these books. Like I've said multiple times in this video, I mean, it's not like anything crazy, experimental or avant-garde, but it's like with the goal she has in mind, she does a great job on executing on it. I'm just here to give you a fun, neat story, to keep you entertained, to not waste a lot of your time, and to give you a nice resolution. And she did all that really well. So as to who I'd recommend this book to, I mean, if you're a mystery fan, I think probably all of Agatha Christie's works. I do plan to read more from her, maybe Death on the Nile or Death on the Oriental Express. Is that what it is? I do plan to read some more stuff from her, but because like I said, they're light, they're fun, they're easy to get through. Um, if you're just looking for entertainment, something to a neat little story, then I mean this is a perfect read. Not saying that this couldn't change you in some way, maybe it could. But yeah, no, you're looking for an entertaining read, if you're a mystery fan, you like to try and guess who if you like Clue, um, yeah, I would recommend this book for you too. That will conclude the video for this weekend, guys. Thank you all for watching. Check out And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie if you're looking for a fun little story about a killer, you know. Um, but yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next weekend.